Kai Navarro had a list. Not a written list, a mental one, maintained with the diligence of an executive officer who had served under Ray Mercer for 3 years and had learned that diligence was the only thing standing between his ideas and the kind of outcomes that generated formal incident reports. The list was called Things the Captain Has Done That I Had Serious Reservations About. It was long. Today it was about to get longer. CSS Maverick to all vessels in sector, the automated proximity broadcast announced. Navigation test in progress. Please maintain current heading. Kay looked at the captain. Navigation test. Navigation test, Mercer confirmed cheerfully. We're testing a harpoon system. A navigation harpoon system. By firing it at an asteroid. At 2 asteroids. Technically, the first one's just the anchor. Kay looked at the tactical display. The Tonaldi mining vessel Aura Den sat approximately 800 kilometers off their port bow, working a dense asteroid cluster with the methodical patience of a species that had been pulling ore from rocks for 600 years. They were good at it. Steady. Professional. They had no idea what was about to happen in their neighborhood. Should we tell them? Kay asked. Mercer considered this for approximately 1 second. Send them a hail. What do I say? He thought about it. Tell them to watch. Kay stared at him. Just watch. Keep it simple. She opened the channel. Closed it. Opened it again. Transmitted. Watch this. Closed it. Added the incident to her mental list. Aboard the Aura Den, Captain Voss of the Tonaldi mining vessel received the transmission and read it twice. Watch this. His communications officer repeated as if saying it aloud might clarify something. It did not clarify anything. Voss pulled up the CSS Maverick on his sensor display, a human patrol vessel, Harrington class, running at an angle that his navigation officer had flagged 4 minutes ago as unusual. Not threatening, not aggressive, just purposeful in a direction that didn't obviously correspond to anything. He trusted humans. The Tonaldi had worked alongside human mining operations for 40 years without significant incident. Humans were reliable partners, excellent engineers, and occasionally did things that made complete sense in retrospect and absolutely none in the moment. This felt like one of those moments. All stop, he said quietly. Let's see what they're doing. The CSS Maverick's engineering bay smelled like coffee and ambition, which Kay had come to recognize as the specific combination that preceded Ray Mercer's better ideas and his worse ones in equal measure. Chief Engineer Torres had spent 8 months developing the gravitational harpoon system, a tether-based navigation tool that allowed a vessel to briefly anchor to a large mass object and use the resulting gravitational interaction to alter course without conventional engine burn, faster, more efficient, theoretically applicable to any situation requiring rapid course adjustment around a significant gravitational body. Theoretically, the system's been simulated 400 times, Torres said from his station, the particular brightness in his voice of a man about to prove 400 simulations correct. Every model says it works. Every model also said the variance window was plus or minus 11 seconds, Kay said, which means we could be pulling the tether anywhere in an 11-second window. Which is why we're testing it, Mercer said reasonably. We're testing it, Kay said, in an active mining field. The asteroids aren't going anywhere.
They might be after we're done.
Mercer looked at her with the expression he used when he thought she was being excellent at her job and he was going to do the thing anyway. That's actually the point, he said. The CSS Maverick accelerated toward the asteroid cluster on a heading that made the Aura Den's navigation officer produce a sound that had no direct translation but conveyed something between alarm and profound confusion. Captain Voss watched his display. The human ship was not decelerating, was not adjusting course, was moving toward a region of dense asteroid concentration at a speed that suggested either extraordinary confidence or extraordinary error, and Voss genuinely could not determine which. Then the harpoon fired. A tether, thin, brilliant, catching the light as it extended from the Maverick's forward housing, crossed 400 kilometers of space, and connected with an asteroid roughly the size of a small building on the outer edge of the cluster. The Maverick didn't slow down. It used the tether. The ship swung, a precise controlled arc that changed its heading by 40 degrees in approximately 6 seconds, using the asteroid's mass as a pivot point, the way a child uses a lamppost to change direction at a run. Clean, fast, elegant in the particular way that things are elegant when they work exactly as intended. The asteroid, for its part, did not enjoy being used as a navigation anchor. It moved, not fast. A slow, inevitable drift imparted by the tether's pull carrying it on a new vector directly into a neighboring asteroid roughly twice its size. The collision was quiet from 800 kilometers away. A slow-motion meeting of 2 rocks that had been minding their own business for several million years, connecting with enough force to fracture both of them into irregular pieces of manageable size, pre-broken, pre-separated, floating in a loose, expanding cloud that a mining vessel could work through at leisure. Torres's voice came over the ship-wide comm at approximately the volume of someone who had just watched 400 simulations become reality. Yes, that is what I am talking about. The engineering bay erupted. Kay stood at her console and watched the asteroid debris field expanding gently into perfect mining configuration and added nothing to her mental list because she was busy revising her assessment of the entire situation. Maverick, the Aura Den's transmission began, in the carefully measured tone of a 10LD captain composing himself after witnessing something he had no framework for. "This is Captain Voss. We observed your maneuver." A pause. "We have several questions." Another pause, shorter. "Also thank you. The field is significantly easier to work now." Merker keyed the response himself. "Happy to help, Captain Voss. New system we're running in. Seemed like a good opportunity to field test it somewhere the results would be useful." He leaned back in his chair. "Let us know if you need the other cluster broken up. We've got tether for one more run." Kay looked at him. "You planned the mining assist," she said. "Not a question. Seemed efficient," he said. "Test the system, help the neighbors, get the data, 3 things. You could have told me that's what we were doing. You would have had reservations." "I had reservations anyway, but fewer," he said now that it worked. Kay considered arguing with this, decided he wasn't wrong. Updated her mental list. Not to add an entry, but to move today's item from the reservations column to the one she'd started maintaining about 18 months into this posting. The one labeled fine. That was actually pretty good. It was also getting long. Follow Sci-Fi Shorts for more original sci-fi short stories, HFY, space opera, and life between the stars.